Hector sensed that the gods were on his side. He was hell-bent on invading the Achaeans' camp and burning their ships, leading the attack on the Greek fortifications from the forefront. But Agamemnon would not allow the Trojans to storm the camp. Together with Diomedes and Odysseus, he would protect the camp gates. Agamemnon fought ferociously in front of his men, until he managed to contain the impetus of the Trojan advance. Hector wanted to strike at the great Greek king, but was halted by the hand of the goddess Iris, who brought him a message directly from Zeus. She informed him that he should wait until Agamemnon was wounded. This was the sign the gods would send him to exert full pressure on the Greeks. Without Hector's resistance, Agamemnon seemed undefeatable. He went as far as to take the armor of a noble Trojan hero, who perished at the hands of the great Basilius. But Agamemnon would eventually be wounded in the arm by the spear of a Trojan who sought to avenge his wiped-out relative. Hector ordered his men to move forward, while the king of Mycenae was helped to retreat from the battlefield. Diomedes was now leading the Greeks. Under his powerful commanding voice, the Greeks were trying to resist, but the son of Tydeus had no idea that he was in the sights of Paris's bow. Paris's arrow pierced Diomedes' foot, cutting him through and pinning him to the ground. Albeit wounded, he insulted Paris, calling him a coward and a wife-stealer, and saying that he lacked the courage to confront a real man face to face. For this reason, he hid behind his brother and fought at a distance with his bow. Odysseus ordered 2 of his men to help carry Diomedes back to camp. But now he was the only great hero left on the Greek front line. Odysseus fought bravely, but was harassed by several Trojan warriors. At this point, he was unsure whether to continue fighting and die a glorious death or flee to the camp. But a warrior named Socus freed Odysseus from his dilemma by piercing the hero with a spear. A wounded Odysseus fell to his knees as Socus came forward, celebrating that he had struck down one of the bravest Greek warriors. But when he stepped up to strike the coup de grace, Odysseus stabbed him in the throat with his sword. The Trojans were bewildered to witness such a scene and wondered how such a thing was possible. However, thanks to Athena, who slightly diverted Socus' strike, the Trojan's spear only pierced the edge of Odysseus' armor. This, since it had belonged to his father Laertes, was a little loose on Odysseus' body, so he barely escaped with a bruise on his ribs. Ajax, with his tower shield, provided cover so that Odysseus could retreat into the fortification. The Trojan army finally broke down the gates of the wooden wall, which had been raised to defend the ships and the Greek camp. Hector felt that victory was within his grasp. Only a bit more pressure on the Greeks would cause their army to crumble. Agamemnon, Odysseus, and Diomedes groggily retreated to the glorious tent of King Mycenaeans. There, they met with the other Greek chiefs to quickly decide on measures to contain the Trojan advance. Paris and Aeneas burned the Greek ships that had already been conquered. The sons of Ares, Deimos and Phobos stood back, as dread and despair spread through the Greeks' hearts.